Hello, you guys. I decided to do my culture artifact on tamales because I feel like it really connects with my culture. And my mom's been making tamales since I could remember. Even on Christmas, I would get excited. There's going to be a couple things I'm going to touch on tamales. One is, why are tamales important to Latin cultures? The different types of tamales, how to make tamales, and why do people eat them on Christmas Eve. The first thing I'm going to touch on is, why are tamales important to Latin cultures? The preparation of tamales is most likely to have spreaded from indigenous cultures in Mexico and Guatemala to the rest of Latin America. According to archaeologists William Saturn and David Statt, tamales may date back from the years of 100 AD. The Maya civilization used tamales as portable food for their hunting trips and traveling long distance, as well as supporting their animals. Tamales were also considered sacred as food for their gods. The Aztecs and Mayans all considered themselves to be people of corn, and so the tamale played a huge part in their rituals and festivals. So here's the fun part. There's different types of tamales you can make. You can make them with corn. There's some with pineapple. There's the chicken ones that are with chili that are called green tamales. There's red tamales with pork. And there's ones with candy flavor, which are the ones that are red. Also, people in Mexico make them different depending on where they live, such as the ones with banana leaves, and there's some with chili and cheese, which are my favorite. So I decided to show you guys how to make the red pork tamales because those are the most common ones and they're pretty easy to make. First, you would have to clean the corn husk with hot water and then let it dry for 2 hours. Then in a pot, you would put the tomatoes, onions, and the chili guajillos and the posillas, the garlic, and water. Cook it for 10 minutes and let it soften. Then you would transfer it to a blender and put the salt and pepper and the cumin. And then you blend it to make it into a smoothie substance. And then that's your sauce base. Then you would go onto the pork. You would fry it into a skillet until it's well browned and firm. Then you would add the sauce to the pan with the pork. Let it boil for an hour and then let it cool down. And then you make what is called the masa, which is the flour kind of base for it. You would add baking soda, baking powder, and the lard, corn masa. So now you would just add your corn masa in with the corn husk. The way you do it is you get the corn husk, you spread the masa all over the corn husk, halfways, and then you would put a line of pork sauce, and then you would wrap it, and you would put it in your pot and heat it until an hour, and then you would taste the tamale before you give them out, because sometimes they're not ready when within the hour. You would have to steam them a little more. The last part of my presentation is, why do people eat them on Christmas Eve? From my personal experience, since I was a little girl, this has been a huge tradition in my family, just because it brings us together. While making them, we would talk about our year and the goods and bads of whatever happened to us. It's just a really thing to spend time with your family while making them. And the interesting part is that in some households, they don't celebrate Christmas Day. The most important holiday is Christmas Eve for most Latin families. And then at 12 at midnight, we would open up the Christmas presents and call it a day. Also, we have a certain drink with it too, which is either champorado or atole, which is really good. The only thing is that you would have to wake up really early to make these, because it takes a lot of time to make tamales. I think that's why everybody I know just orders them through somebody else, because they're just too lazy or they don't have time. And thanks for listening to my presentation.